We now return to money on Modern Marvels. Some of us might have doubts about how wisely the American government spends money, but you can be certain it's well equipped to create it. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing's facilities in Washington, D.C. and Fort Worth, Texas, churn out 35 million banknotes every day, with a face value of about $635 million.
We have to produce billions and billions and billions of this product. It has to be easily recognizable. It has to be consistent billions and billions of times, but it also has to be exceedingly difficult for someone else to produce. That, to me, is a challenge.
The BEP, like its sister agency, the U.S. Mint, relies on an elite staff of engravers to craft its master dies.
The art of engraving itself hasn't changed much. The tools are very similar to what they were 400 years ago. The primary engraving tool is a Buren engraver. It's just it's a straight steel shaft that's polished on two sides with a bevel on the end of it. And you just put it in a small holder and push with the palm of your hand through the metal, and it cuts a tiny little curl out at a time. You can control the depth and width of the line with astonishing accuracy.
And you're doing this pretty much in miniature version, and you're doing this backwards in reverse. And the fascinating thing is, if you make a big mistake, 9 months of work will go down the drain in just one cut.
Making a mistake in an original die is a tragedy. I would have to fix that by using a scraper. I would have to hollow it out in that area until I made a smooth little depression. Then take the engraving die, flip it over, hammer the back of it so that it would raise a bump on the surface. I would then take a series of little honing stones over the top of the surface and smooth it back and forth until it was absolutely flat. Then take burnishing tools to repolish the area, then mark it back in and recut it accurately. You end up destroying a good deal of work around the error.
Once completed successfully, however, a skilled engraver's handiwork is a banknote's first line of defense against counterfeiters.
If I were to ask any one of my banknote engravers to engrave the very same design, exactly the same, twice, that person can't do it because of the subtle human nature of designing. The human aspect of engraving a banknote is unique to that individual process and that unique to that time. That exacting, detailed 19th century craftsmanship is the cornerstone of how we build our counterfeiting deterrent strategy.
The uniquely etched master dies are duplicated in plastic to craft the Intaglio press's 32-sheet plates.
They're welded together in individual rows, 8 to a row. One row is welded, they're inspected again, checked to make sure it's the right size, and then it goes to the second row, and we do that, so we'll end up with 4 of these rows. And then it comes time to put it together. Then it's one long weld, and we put all 4 of them together, and you can see on the back, you can see where it's welded. Each one was welded individually first, and then welded 3 times across to make 4 rows.
After a plate maker coats the plastic plates in chromium, the engravers inspect them. Then the plates are secured to the presses. But we're not quite ready to fire them up. Before the intaglio printing begins, some denominations of the blank 32 subject sheets are offset printed. The process adds subtle colors, symbols of freedom, and microprinting, forming a new layer of complexity to foil counterfeiters. Let's take a look inside the massive printer that applies the offset hues and images. The Simultan press.
The ink is applied from the rollers onto the plates. The image is then transferred to the blanket cylinder. The paper comes between the 2 blanket cylinders, being the face and back, printing both sides simultaneously. This is the feeder end of the simultan press. This is where we put our offset images on it. The paper is fed down the elongated feed board, down into the pre-front lays, and this is where it actually goes into the printing units to print both sides at the same time.
We're running the orange ink, the green ink, and the blue ink, and right now I'm about to put the green ink in the inkwell. We refill the ink fountains approximately every 4 hours, which is the equivalent of about 30,000 printed sheets.
During offset printing, vigilant pressmen keep a close eye on quality.
We will extract a sheet during the running of the press and bring them over to the AutoSmart scanner and read all the color swatches for ink density. He's looking at the orange and the green, and he also reviews his blue. We have to monitor that very closely. Our tolerance and standards for our currency production is very, very tight, so we have to monitor it constantly.
Precision and attention to detail are equally vital during the intaglio printing. An old process with a new look.
The concept of intaglio printing remains the same. It's just that we take advantage of modern technology to deliver that concept in a quicker, faster, more economical way.